Chapter 9: Food and Hunger. As we found earlier, nutrition is important in the global burden of disease. With that in mind, we need to evaluate the level of food production and food available today and what factors affect the level of productivity in agriculture. While human population growth has been geomantic since the start of the Industrial Revolution, because of the industrialization of agriculture, food production has easily kept up with population growth. While food production has outpaced population growth, this doesn't mean food access has improved. Food production tends to mirror industrial development. As a result, the majority of food production occurs in the most developed nations, while population growth tends to occur in the poorest countries. This has led to food insecurity in many parts of the world. A map of hunger around the world. Other factors play a role in food insecurity. Issues such as poverty, political instability, armed conflict, and environmental conditions have led to mass migrations of people in the poorest regions of Earth. These migrations cause regional issues with production being able to keep up with population density. When that happens, famine occurs. Famines. Aid policies of rich countries often serve to distribute surplus commodities and produce a feeling of generosity, but herding people into feeding camps is typically counterproductive. Many die on the way, others die in epidemics or from violence. The Harvard Food Pyramid. Even when food is available, the quality of the food can vary. Because of this, many people worldwide consume adequate calories each day, but do not ingest adequate nutrients. This is called malnourishment. This malnourishment can be for macronutrients, but also micronutrients, such as goiter, caused by low iodine intake. Protein is especially problematic. For example, many children consume high calories, but do not consume enough protein. This leads to the development of kwashiorkor. This disease is characterized by an otherwise healthy-looking child having a very large, distended belly. Marasmus occurs when children has both low protein and low calorie intake. These children are the ones typically seen on TV and are very thin and skeleton-like in appearance. Kwashiorkor, displaced child, occurs mainly in children whose diet lacks high-quality protein. Discolored skin, bloated stomach. Marasmus, to waste away, caused by a diet low in protein and calories. Very thin, shriveled, with low resistance to infection. A photo of a child with marasmus and a woman with goiter. The Green Revolution and new crops. New crops possible. Winged bean. Entire plant is edible. Tricale, a hybrid between wheat and rye. Modern increases in food production has occurred because of industrialization. This Green Revolution occurred because of increased use of pesticides, irrigation, and mechanization. Because of this, yields increased drastically. Along with this increase in mechanization came improved varieties of crops, specifically advances in the cereal crops, wheat, rice, and corn, in conjunction with the Green Revolution, caused increased productivity. However, this reliance on a few strains of three main crops places food production at risk. Key food sources. Worldwide, three crops deliver the majority of needed nutrients to humanity: wheat, rice, and corn. 2 billion metric tons are grown each year globally. In addition, potatoes, barley, oats, and rye are staples in cool, moist climates. Cassava, sweet potatoes, and other roots and tubers are staples in warm, wet climates. Other risks to food production include the overuse of antibiotics to prevent disease in animals grown in small areas. This has led to increased resistance in pathogens that can affect humans as well as animals. Shortcomings of the Green Revolution. Green Revolution plants are high responders which only show increased yields if they have fertilizers and protection from pests. If these are lacking, they may not produce as well as traditional crops. Poor farmers who cannot afford the cost of fertilizer, pesticides, and hybrid seeds may be left out of the Green Revolution. As the Green Revolution reached its limits, scientists have begun to use gene splicing to engineer transgenic organisms as food crops. Many of these modified products have been created to improve the nutrient content of the food, not specifically increase production. An illustration of gene transfer techniques. Many people have concerns with GMO food items. However, these concerns may be misguided. While many countries and trading blocs have banned the sale of GMOs produced in the U.S., these same organizations acknowledge that the consumption of GMOs are no more or less safe than non-GMO foods. From an environmental standpoint, the risk associated with GMO crops are the impacts new or novel gene combinations may have on native species. Little research has been conducted on these concerns. Is genetic engineering safe? Environmental and consumer groups have campaigned against transgenic organisms, frankenfoods. Some European nations have bans on GMOs. U.S. Food and Drug Administration declined to require labeling of foods containing GMOs. New varieties are substantially equivalent to related, traditionally bred varieties. Some GMOs tested so far do not survive well in the wild and are no more invasive than unmodified plants. Worry that genetically modified animals will escape captivity and outcompete their wild relatives. We should err on the side of safety. Will GMOs help feed the world or lead to more economic disparity?